This is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Boy, we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get to all the questions. I'm going to get to all the comments. I know a lot of you have a question about the title of the video. They stole my underwear. I'm going to tell you about my underwear getting stolen. It's not clickbait. It really did happen. I'm going to tell you about all of those things. As you can tell, I'm already off to stuttering, so I guess that's probably the first thing we should jump into. Let me tell you about what's going on with my health. Also, several of you saw my post that I put on Facebook that said I got to find a better job. We also got to talk about Facebook too. So we got a lot to unpack today. I'm going to get to it just as quick as I can. But before I do, we've still got a few channel members that have hung in there with me through thick and thin, and I want to give them a shout out. There's just a few, so this won't take long. Looks like we've got 6 currently. Let's start with the very first channel member, a guy that's been very loyal to me and stuck it out with me through good and bad, thick and thin. Of course, I'm talking about Ramon. Next would be my good friend Robbie Ross, and I might as well not even put good friend on there. Obviously, these people are all good friends. Corey Oatley, Oaser DM, Casey, and Adam. Thank y'all all for being such good friends and loyal supporters of the channel. And so, again, I'll get to your comments here in just a minute. This was kind of an impromptu video, so I appreciate y'all joining me. I'm trying to get better about doing Saturday and Sunday videos since during the work I work from 12:15 p.m. till about 9:15 p.m. Last Thursday night, I was there till almost 10 o'clock, though. And Friday, I had to call in sick. And so let's talk about my health next. You're going to see throughout this video, I still stutter a lot. Memory is some days better than others. Some of this may just be getting old, but I'm definitely not 100%. Still having some leg problems sometimes, some neck problems, things like that. But overall, I think I'm better. I'm doing a really good job at the job. Well, we'll talk about that some more in a minute. Tuesday, I go to the neurologist and I'll get some tests done, things like that. We'll kind of see where I'm at. You guys may have seen in the video that I put out, I guess it's been about a week ago now, that there's a potential that I may be able to return to trucking sooner than I thought, possibly as early as September 14th. A lot of that'll depend on how those doctor visits go and things like that. So keep me in your prayers, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'll return to trucking, but there's always that possibility. Again, a ton of rumors have been circulating about me the last 2 weeks. If you hear something, don't believe it unless it comes straight out of my mouth. There's a lot of people out there that like to stir the pot and make up stuff that couldn't be further from the truth, and they don't have any proof or anything like that. So we're not going to shine a light on a cockroach tonight. Let's talk about the job a little bit. So I think most people agree, as far as being an owner operator and truck driving, I was pretty good at it. The companies I've associated myself with all have pretty good things to say about me. And the most recent one I worked for, SRO Logistics, we've talked on the phone as recently as just a few days ago. So um, I've always been pretty good at whatever I've done. I'm either really, really good at something or really, really bad at something. And so before that, I was a pretty successful car salesman. And several of you suggested, why don't you go back and sell cars again? And I haven't wanted to do that because the income can be so crazy. And so I've stayed away from car selling. But this job, the problem is I'm average at it. And this is going to sound like I'm full of myself. And some of you guys are going to have a problem with this. But I'm so used to being good at stuff that when I'm average, it's hard for me to take. And so I'm doing a fine job up there. Every week we do a coaching on mine's on Tuesdays at 1:45, and I had my first one this last week, and he's like, "Man, for your second day being out here on your own, out of training, you're doing great." And I was really critiquing myself. No, by this point I should be doing this. I should be hitting this goal. I should be doing that. And he's like, "No, it's going to take probably 3 months for you to get there." And I was like, no, it can't take me 3 months. I have to excel in what I do, or I've got to go do something where I do excel. And so I'm kind of wrestling with myself there. And he's trying to explain to me that, as I get more of my mental faculties back from the strokes, and as time progresses, I gain experience, that I'll get better. And so maybe I will, maybe I won't, but it's really stressful for me to not be top two or three, like I was when I sold cars, or like I usually was when I drove a truck. So I've shared with you with some trucking companies where I was the highest paid truck driver at the company, and that's definitely not the case now. With the company I'm working with, I'm definitely not the highest paid there. I'm definitely not leading the sales board, although in training, I did sell the second most there, and the guy quit shortly after he passed me, so we didn't get to finish out that month to see who won. But anyway, so let's move on to the next thing we need to talk about, if I can remember what it was. So we're going to get to the underwear story. We're working our way there. So as you might have noticed, I haven't done a lot of videos lately. I've done even less lives. I've been doing some of my videos have been promotional videos. If you guys go to the truckertodd.net website and look at my Amazon affiliate link, you'll see several products I've put up. Everything from women's perfume to lids for soda cans to you name it. I recently got an offer. This is where the underwear story comes in, where a company wanted me to promote their underwear. And I was undecided about how we were going to do that. Obviously, you guys know I don't promote anything that I don't try myself personally. It has to be something I like, things like that. So they were sending me some underwear to review and make a video about. Now, the reason I did that thumbnail that I did was so that you could see the underwear that they were wanting me to try. And so they mailed me the underwear, but what they did was forgot to put my apartment number on there. So the underwear never made it to me. Now, I live in an apartment complex. You would hope that the neighbor would, I'm assuming it's a neighbor, somebody in the complex would take them up to the office and say, these are not mine. And then the apartment office would look and go, okay, this is his last name. Let's see if these are his. That did not happen. Whoever got the underwear kept them. So somebody got some free underwear in the mail, and I hope they're enjoying them. I'm in contact with the company that was wanting me to review their underwear products, and trying to get them to send me some more. To this point, they've been pretty reluctant to do that. And so, another thing about the current job I have, because I realize how that first part I said, it sounds like, oh, well, Todd's on an ego trip. There's been some other things there. For example, almost every single thing that they've told me has been a lie. Some of it in a good way, some of it in a bad way. They told me what my rate of pay was going to be. This is an example of a good one. After I started, I found out, no, that's wrong. We gave everybody a 5% raise. So that was a good problem. But they told me commissions would start in July. Now they're saying commissions would start in September. They told me health insurance was day one. I just barely got that set up this week. And, uh, and so that was another huge disappointment. They told, and this hadn't directly affected me, it affected a lot of people that was in my orientation group. They told us all we'd have every Saturday off in the beginning. Me and I think one other person are the only ones that got every weekend off. So it's you guys know before I start work anywhere, I ask a ton of questions, do a lot of research, and I guess that's what's bugging me the most is just that everything they told me has been wrong. My insurance from what I had when I was truck driving, I went through healthcare.gov, as you guys know. It's about $300 a month higher getting insurance through the company I'm working for now. And so that's been a little bit of a disappointment. Also, you know how when you work for one company, you get discounts with other companies? Well, in this case, I have not maximized on those discounts yet. I finally got them set up. I'm saving about $80 a month off my bills, but I should be saving about $300 a month. So when you compile all these things together, it's been really frustrating. As I said, I was pretty sick Friday. I have my good days and bad days. When people ask how I'm doing, people that know me well generally say I'm about the same. So I've definitely plateaued a little bit. I'm hoping this job, as it requires a lot of mental capacity and doing a lot of things at once, it's improving my computer skills greatly. And B, I'm hoping that it'll help my mental function and my speech because I have to talk all day at that job. And I'm uh, I'm pretty popular up there, I guess you could say. I've made a lot of friends. It takes me forever to get to my pickup when I get off work. Never mind the half-mile walk, but people see me and I'll hear somebody yell Todd and they'll want me to stop and talk to them a few minutes. And so it's a pretty good little walk from my desk to the pickup, getting stopped usually two or three times to visit with people, answer questions, things like that. Also, some of you know I started going to a new church. I'm really liking that. They're having a 4th of July deal where they're going to have food and stuff like that out there. And the location of the church is on the outskirts of the city where you can see the fireworks real well. So if I'm able to, I'm going to try to go to that on the 4th of July. And I don't know if family's doing anything or not. I may be several places on the 4th of July. But anyway, we're about 14 minutes into it. Let me get to some of y'all's questions. Some of you have been waiting a while. Looks like channel member Robbie Ross was the first one in here today. He got here at 2:56, so he's been waiting about almost an hour and a half. Let's get to him. He says, "Howdy, friends from Effingham, headed to Scranton, Pennsylvania. I know that route well. Good to talk to you again. He called me earlier and I wasn't able to answer his call, but I'll try to get him called back here in a little bit. I told him I was trying to get ready for a show and I was dealing with some personal stuff that I'm not going to reveal it in here today at this time, but for a long time I'd say I'm 50 or now 51, and I've got comfortable with the skin I'm in and I know myself really well. I can tell you that this week and as recently as today, I've learned a lot about myself and had to do some reflection on my life and been dealing with a lot of personal stuff behind the scenes on top of the strokes. I'm learning things that I didn't know and I'm trying to pace myself and deal with it. A lot of people say, well, Todd, maybe you have to stop doing videos for a while. And the videos are actually therapeutic. They actually help, if anything, they don't stress me out. But the job definitely stresses me out. The not getting better as fast as I thought I uh, should help me, is helping me a lot, is frustrating me a lot, and just a lot of things like that. So y'all say a prayer with me, be patient with me. I'm coming back, just not as quick as what I thought I would, as what I thought I would. Sorry, see how I'm stuttering? Gary Cook, listening while I'm driving. Glad to have you, my friend. Blue Shadow says, good evening. Good evening, Blue Shadow. Nice bike, by the way. I sure do miss my motorcycle. And my good friend Adam says, here from the house, couple of days off due to harvest. Oh God, I can't even talk. Here from the house, couple of days off from harvest due to the rain. Well, good deal. I'm glad to have you here. I'm gonna try to put another one of these together. It seems like, for example, last weekend, the grandkids were down. I was out hanging out with them, and it was my granddaughter's birthday party that we did for her. We had a cookout and a cake and everything, and so there wasn't a time to do a video, but I'm going to try to do one this tomorrow too, if I can put it together. Y'all be looking for that. And my good friend that I was speaking about earlier, Ramon, is here. And another good one, Trucking with the Fly Rabbit and Poppy. I know who the Fly Rabbit is. I don't know who Poppy is. He says, I'm here listening to. He started a live stream this past Tuesday, and I think they're going to be trying to do that on Tuesdays. You guys know I used to have a Tuesday and Thursday show, and at this point, I'm not able to do it, but hopefully, when they do shift bids again, if I'm still working at this place, I can get a shift that'll allow me to go back to the Tuesdays and Thursdays that y'all really responded well to. And I'm constantly searching for news articles related to trucking and transportation to talk to y'all about. If you see anything, please feel free to email me at todd@truckertodd.net. It's in the little ticker at the bottom of the screen, and my email's there, the website's there, all of that stuff. So y'all go check those things out. That really helps me. And also give me a thumbs up and share this video on your social media platforms. That's another way you can really get into helping me out here. So Michael says hello. Hello, hello, Michael. Thank you for being here. Today I'm also cheating on Coke Zero. I'm drinking Big Red Zero, and it is really good. Mr. Tacos Truckin'. Hey, I like that name. Says, hey, Trucker Todd. Hello, Mr. Tacos. I'm glad to have you in here. Thank you for stopping by. And Michael says, hello again. Hello, sir. Blackjack Farms Logistics Inc. says, hi. Hello, Blackjack. And my uncle Racing Ray is here. He says, hey, just checking in. I saw him a few days ago, but I've been feeling terrible, honestly. And so I haven't done a lot of contacting or reaching out to people. But yeah, that's hopefully I can get better in the next day or two. I got to get well by Monday because I can't miss any more work. Blackjack Farms Logistics Inc. says, hi, TN. TN, who is TN? All righty. And we got Robbie Ross, my friend and channel member, says Todd modeling thongs. Yeah, we had a good laugh about that around here because when you think, and that's why I put the thumbnail I did, that's the actual underwear they wanted me to try. And we had a pretty good laugh about it around here. Generally, when people think of me, they think of me as a funny guy, good sense of humor. They think of me as a truck driver formerly. Even some people think of me as a salesman because I have a past in sales. Some people associate me with church and church activities, but absolutely nobody associates me with underwear. And so we had a pretty good laugh about that. Even people at work were asking me if I was going to model the underwear, how I was going to do that video. And I was undecided. I think what I was going to do is maybe show the underwear, wear them for a couple of days, and then make a video about what I thought about them and compile it into all one video. And then maybe have an Amazon affiliate link if people wanted to buy those underwear, things like that. But I don't think anybody wants to see me prancing around in underwear, including myself. What made you get into trucking? Hey, Sarah, I am super glad you're here. Um, so let's talk about why I got into trucking. Um, in This story's going to get me in trouble. In 1996, I had my own lawn care business, and me and this other guy um, were out doing yards. A guy that worked for me, and he was always he was one of these instigators that always liked to get fights started and stuff. And he knew I had had some training, and he was always trying to get us into a situation where we'd have to fight somebody, and he could see me fight. And I had told him that it's for defense. It's not. We're not going to go out and pick fights. We're not going to bully people. And I said, if you start a fight with somebody, it's going to be your fight. I'm not getting in it. And so we had went and dumped a bunch of lawn clippings, and we're coming back, and he seen this car, and he flipped them off. And he said, Todd, they're turning around. And when he said that, I looked over my shoulder. We were in an El Camino, and we pulled out in front of a tanker doing 70 miles an hour. That was one of the 3 times in my life where they called my mom and told her they didn't know if I was going to make it, that they thought I was dead. But anyway, um, I went to the hospital, had 4 broken ribs, had 4 spinal processes broke. I had blood coming out of my ear, so that's why they thought I was dying. It turned out it was just a really bad cut on my ear. There's still a scar on my ear. And I was in the hospital, and it was all because this guy was trying to pick fights with people, and he distracted me while I was driving. When I got out of the hospital, I was in really bad condition. Um, I laid on a mattress in my living room at home. My first wife tried to take care of me, but it wasn't good. Had a lot of marriage problems as a result of that. And so some more information was revealed to me. And since I know who you are, Sarah, I'll tell you more about it privately. But I knew that the marriage was falling apart, and it was kind of hard to take. My parents had been married for 100 years, not really, but a long time, 20 something years at that point. And so we accrued a lot of debt while I was healing at home. And I'm sitting there reading the newspaper back in those days. I mean, there was internet, but nothing like it is now. And I see that I can make 30,000 a year my first year as a truck driver, and I can go to this school for 2 weeks, and then I can start this job. And at the same time, I had an uncle that was a truck driver, and I called him and I got some advice, and he talked to me about it. Didn't necessarily try to talk me into it, but didn't necessarily try to talk me out of it. Well, he died on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I had this accident on Labor Day, September, I don't remember the exact day. I think it was September 6th of that year. So I get well, I go to his funeral, and then I start my training after truck driving school right there in Oklahoma City. And the truth is, I did it because we were real far in debt. I thought I'll do it a few months till we get out of debt. Back then, $30,000 was a lot of money. Prior to that, I'd been working at a Burger King, and I made television commercials for the Burger King, and I made about 30,000. But I knew that ship was going to sail eventually, and that my chances at making $30,000, I was going to have to do something different. So I went out on the road, did that, and then things got better in the marriage. And I was over the road about a year, and then I got a dedicated run with that company where I was home every day. And so um, that's a whole nother story. I'll probably have to tell that to you at a later time. Michael says, "How have you been lately, brother? Man, I got to tell you, I'm really feeling my age right now, and it's been a go. Some days I wake up and I'm like Superman, and I can do everything like I used to, and some days it's a struggle. I'll give you an example. The other day we're at church, they're doing communion. I reach in the tray to pull out the little wafers, and I can't pick it up. I finally get it picked up, and we do the wafer. Then they bring around the grape juice, and I have to hold the cup with both hands because I'm shaking so bad. And so I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of scary sometimes when I make a password, like for my bank or something, and 10 minutes later I can't remember it. And plus, you guys know I got an iPhone. I'm trying to learn how to use it, and seems like sometimes it saves the password and sometimes it don't. But I'm just yeah, I think I don't want to say there's a lot of people. I used to joke and I used to say I've got a lot of people on the payroll. And what I meant by that was there's a lot of people that count on me for a lot of things. And I'm really feeling that pressure right now. There's a lot of people in my life that need the old Todd. And quite frankly, to deal with some of my personal problems I've got in my life right now, I need the old Todd to reappear. Um, I just got off the phone a little bit ago with a really amazing person. And um, I don't know that I was impressive on the phone like I could have been if I was 100% me. And so I hope they'll bear with me until I get back to my old self. But yeah, I was like, man, if this person could have dealt with me a year ago when I was me, it'd be a whole lot different experience for sure. But I'm just taking one day at a time, and the thing that I've been really blessed with is my true friends have hung in there with me, and that includes family. Some of my family has stuck by me. Some of them barely remember my name, and that's okay too. Okay, we got to jump down to this real quick. My good friend and channel member Robbie Ross with the $20 super chat. Nice jersey. Rise up, Cowboys Nation. Yeah, I know Robbie and I have talked about this off air. I'm not as optimistic this year, but I would like to go to a Cowboy game. I'm going to try to do that um, at some point, maybe this season. But yeah, I still love them. I'm not a fair weather fan. Love them in good seasons and bad seasons. Admittedly, the last 15 or 20 years have been bad seasons. But yeah, actually, Robbie Ross is the one that gifted me this shirt, and I've enjoyed it. It's by far my favorite shirt. Um, and so, for those that don't know, I'm a big Ford fan. Some of you like to tease me about that, and I'm also a big Cowboys fan. So anytime I get a chance to get a Cowboys hat or a there we go. Can you see it? It's backwards. Or a Ford hat, I'm definitely going to go for things like that. Let me get back up here to where we were. My good friend Mark Ely is here. He says, "What's up, everyone?" He recently got to go to Mexico. Talked to him briefly the other day. Gary Cook says, "Don't tell me you're an underwear model." I'm not even lying. For about 3 days, we had a terrific laugh about it. I get last week was an exception. I got quite a bit of offers last week to promote products, and other YouTubers have always told me once the channel gets to about 10,000 subscribers, I'll get a ridiculous amount of offers. But typically the stuff people want me to review is like, I don't know, telephone or cell phone holders, things like that. Um, and internet services. I did an interview for, or a review for AT&T, uh, Internet Air for Business. That one was not a paid one. I had the service and I did it. I did one for Optimum. That one was also not paid. So typically internet services. I also did one for Metro PCS, I believe, for their internet system. So a lot of internet stuff truckers would use, cell phones, trucking companies. I was making videos reviewing trucking companies. I did a couple of those, and quite honestly, I just got behind. I've got to get back to that. I'll try to shoot one again either this weekend or next weekend if I get a chance. I'm off the 4th of July, but maybe I can get up early that morning and do a couple more and and go from there. But yeah, it's a good joke. Oh crud, my deal fell out. Hang on a second. And just to show you guys that I do like the products that I review, I still wear those earbuds that I did the over the earbuds that I did a review on. They are great. The company themselves, they thought I was kind of tough on them, but I don't think they'll be asking me to review any more products. But I thought it was a good product, but I just feel like you got to be honest. And if I come on here and say this is the greatest thing since sliced bread and there's no problems with it whatsoever, then you're going to know I'm a liar when you purchase that product and try it for yourself. But if I come on here and I go, hey, I really, really like it, and I wear it in my live streams, these are the things that I don't like about it. You may say, hey, those things are little, I don't care, I want it. Or you may say, oh, those are deal breakers. I'm glad Trucker Todd told me not to buy those things. So I'm going to always be honest with you. So you may buy them and you may have a different opinion. I had a guy, good friend of mine, he called me the other day. He bought the first Bluetooth headset that I did the review on. I don't even remember the name of it. I've got it in the other room. And he's like, Todd, it's exactly like you said. I love it. So that's all I can do is just be honest with you guys. So we got another question here. It's from Sarah Rose. How many hours would you typically drive an average truck driver? So most, well, it depends if you're an intrastate driver or an interstate driver. An intrastate driver that stays in Texas and never leaves Texas has different rules than somebody over the road. If you go to multiple states, then you're interstate and it's different. But the short answer is you're allowed to work 70 hours a week and you're allowed to drive 11 hours a day. And so that's how that calculates. Now, on top of that, I was doing YouTube at the time. And so I would tell people generally I worked about 80 or 85 hours a week. It sounds like a lot. It's really not, though. I still got plenty of rest. What I do is when I lay down, I turn my phone off so that, or I don't turn it off, but I turn the ringer off so that it doesn't ring through while I'm sleeping because I'd get calls at 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes. And then I call everybody back as quick as I can. And it worked really well. I would sleep 8, 9 hours, sometimes 10 hours a day. I got more sleep then than I probably do now. And it was fun. I picked my own loads. I negotiated my own rates. I went to one truck show. It was my first one to go to. And I'm going to try to go back to it in March if I can. Some of it's going to depend on where I'm working, how I'm doing physically. And even if I'm still at this job, I get a lot of paid time off. It's a union job. And starting in July, I get some time off. And so that part of it's really, really good for doing these kind of things. There was recently a truck show in Houston that a few guys wanted me to go to, but it was too soon. I was still starting at this job. And I think the thing that everybody forgets including some family and a lot of friends, is you see me on these videos and you think, man, he looks great for 2 hours, but you don't see when the camera's not rolling. I still struggle a lot, and I still really have a lot of bad days. And so there. Michael Canvas. So you work for Amazon. I'm not saying where I work because the company I work for asked me not to. I've got some very mean trolls that try to do mean things, and the company doesn't want to deal with the trolls. But I do have an Amazon affiliate link. So if you're buying stuff on Amazon, you can buy it through my website, and you'll still pay the same price, but I'll receive a small commission for that. So get on that website, truckertodd.net, and look around. And if there's something there that you were going to buy anyway, buy it through my affiliate link, and it'll send a few dollars to me. I'm not going to get rich off of it, but I'll make $1 or $2 off everything you order off of there. And we're still going to have the Trucker Todd merchandise. I just, the reason I thought I could originally do it in July is I thought I was going to be getting those commission checks like they told me, which is about doubles my income. And now that I found out it's in September, it's put it off a little bit. I'm still hoping to have stuff out where you can get Trucker Todd items for Christmas. Still the plan. Robbie Ross, channel member, says, many years ago, I had a brain tumor, 13 surgeries later, still ticking. I did take Focus Factor. I noticed it helped me. Yeah, that's something I need to look into, is possibly taking something like that, some of those vitamins to maybe help me. I'm really curious what the neurologist is going to say on Tuesday when I see him, and I'm going to make a lot of decisions based on how that conversation goes as well. So this has gone really well. We've got 23 people in here, which is a decent amount for an impromptu video that nobody knew was coming. I'd mentioned to a couple of you I was going to try to do one, but I didn't know when, where, or how. And I appreciate everybody coming in today. While you're here, and I'm going to go through this while y'all are typing your questions, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, and subscribe. In the little ticker below the video, it'll show the website and the email. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. All right, now that we got through that, I'm going to give it a few more minutes for y'all to type comments. And then if y'all don't have nothing, I'll step on out of here. All righty then. I guess I will go ahead and cut this one short. Looks like we're going to be about a 40-minute video. I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight, and I'm going to hop off of here. Y'all have a great weekend, and if there's any way I can pop out a video or a live stream tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow afternoon after church. All right, y'all have a great night. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you. Bye-bye.